It's the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. That's a matchup maybe they go back to their outer third of the field as this game continues.
Yeah, I think back to my high school coach, John Ford, used to say when we got big plays early in a game or good plays, he'd always say, file it away, lad, file it away, because he'd want to come back to it later in a key situation. They may come back to this one a little more often than that.
Didn't he say laddie or did he say lad?
Yeah, it just depended on what he was feeling at the moment.
Okay, I thought that was the guy you told me about. He used to say laddie a lot.
Laddie? When you heard laddie, he was usually in a pretty good mood. Lad?
Now a second down throw for Winston. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
They go play action. Winston. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Jameis to throw it. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Second down now after the incompletion. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's first and goal. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity. Struggle. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the offense is able to pounce on it inside the 5-yard line.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free. but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Jameis Winston, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why I had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Here we go.
And now here's a carry heading left. Skirts by him at the 35. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
They'll look to throw here. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Giants go on fourth but come up empty. And the Eagles defense able to hold.
Everyone gears up for third down, talks about the importance of it. But fourth down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. You know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on fourth down.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play calling, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The Eagles on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. Winston now from the 50. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 10 more there and another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Picked up a first down.
To throw is Winston. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Here we go.
Now a handoff as they run left side. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Now they go screen, it's complete. Nothing on the screen that time, now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Frank Clark, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
Ready, go. Easy, easy, easy.
play action here on first down. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set. To go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to... feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this time out. In just 2 minutes' time, don't forget we'll get you to Orlando for our halftime report. To bring it to you, who else but Larry Ridley?
Now that man knows his football. Go get him, Larry.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit him over the top.
And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And when you have a guy in the backfield who can catch the football, you don't just use him strictly for checkdowns or dump-offs. You make him part of the primary passing attack because what you're trying to do is get him into open field and then let him make people miss and advance the football.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
They're going to look to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more...
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. The Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On third down, they'll try and pick it up with a counter. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Ryan Allen now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the second quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. What if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone?
I was just going to ask you that same thing. Maybe you use that run now to set up the pass, right?
I would think so, because the run has been very effective for them.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. 23 yards on the play.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. All right, here we go. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back. Right there at the 43. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants have got it back to a 1-score game. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try to play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. 15 yards there on the catch and run. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Play fake. Winston. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football. Caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
3rd and long for Winston. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And Myers able to knock it through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the third quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out come the Giants. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job
and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Now a play fake here on first down. They'll roll him out right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. You know, the running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jordan Willis in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say,
and the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 12 yards is the pickup there, and that'll lead here to a third down.
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease.
Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. This will be caught at about the 5. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Here's Winston. This will be caught at about the 5. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall at the 3-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Demaryius Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people... want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And New York set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they gave up the pick-6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
All right, here we go.
And now here's a carry heading left. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. The Giants on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now back to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Cannon. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
All right, here we go. Blue Niners! Blue Niners!
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. they're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A handoff as they run the counter play. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he gets everything he could into this one. The trajectory's good. It's definitely online. It just need a little more oomph behind it. And it'll wind up falling just shy of the crossbar.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick-6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
New York set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They'll drop the throw, eluding the pressure right. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Call it a gain of 5. And just like that, it's third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
He'll drop to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. They'll set up a throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Back to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. picked off by Logan Ryan. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
A road win in the National